Hi, my name is Katie Dorsey, head of school at Riverside, and welcome to our Spring Fine Arts virtual video. We are so glad to have you joining us and tuning in and celebrating our amazing scholars as they perform. Thank you for persevering with us through what has been a challenging year. Thank you especially to our teachers in the Fine Arts Department. We're so grateful for you and so glad to celebrate and enjoy this performance today.
Hi, my name is Janiyah Shelton. I have been at Riverside for 4 years. I've also been dancing for 4 years, and I will be dancing to Friend Like Me from Disney's Aladdin.
Well, Alibaba had them 40 thieves, Sherazade had 1,000 tales. But master, you in luck, 'cause up your sleeves you got a brand of magic never fails. You got some power in your corner now, it's heavy ammunition in your camp. You got some punch, pizzazz, Yahoo and house, all you gotta do is rub that lamp. And I'll say, Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? Let me take your order, jot it down. You ain't never had a friend like me. Life is your restaurant, and I'm your maitre d'. Come on, whisper what it is you want. You ain't never had a friend like me. Yes, sir, we pride ourselves on service. You're the boss, the king, the shah. Say what you wish, it's yours, true dish. About a little more baklava. As some are calling me, try all of column B. I'm in the mood to help you, dude. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Honestly, what kept me motivated was Miss Cutzinger. I didn't want to let her down, and I really enjoyed being her student.
Well, first of all, I have amazing students to work with, and I have kids who are just hungry to learn and kids who have a lot to say artistically. And I think keeping that in the forefront, knowing that those voices, what they have to say, what they are feeling, how they take their emotions and express it through the lens of dance, was even more important during the time of the pandemic where we weren't face-to-face and things were completely outside of our control. I have always felt that dance, for me personally, is one of the best ways to process my world, and it's a lens in which I see the world through and I try to understand the world and then give the world my view about what's happening. And to try and model that for my students, I think that during the pandemic, they were able to understand that process and turn around and say, hey, this has been really tough for me, but you know what? I'm going to show you how I feel through my art of dance.
Hi, I'm Axel Stupinski. I've been at Riverside for 4 years, and I started dancing here 3 years ago. With dance anyway, I personally use it as an outlet for healthy expression of emotions that sometimes you can't control. And for me personally, those emotions don't stop during a pandemic, so you don't stop dancing.
Tell me more, I got a box cutter with your name on it. Tell me more, I can't stay this long on the same topic. I don't know you, but would I fall in love with you? I don't have no social cues, I'm out for you. I can't get over you. Can't get over you. And before I die,
I have a compromised immune system, so I wasn't allowed to teach in person. I had to invent new ways to try to do teach an art form which by definition requires people to be in the same room with other people. People watching, people breathing the same air was an asset. Now it was something to be feared. And so it was a real challenge and I know challenge is such an overused word for everything we can't quite say. But the language of the theater, the metaphoric language that changes us, that makes us different, that adds beauty to our lives.
Thanks, Rebecca and Frank. I'm here with Eve L., president of the Science Club.
That's Dr. Eve L. I completed my doctorate online this summer.
And action!
It's time. The transformation should be complete. Unleash the monsters. All of you have been reborn on this day.
So we did a zombie film and everybody contributed. It was great and it was fun because this is a technical theater class, but I asked some of them to be actors and they did a really great job. So we talked about makeup, we talked about scenery, lighting, costumes, and then we're gonna be picking some sound to make the scenes a little extra spooky. So it was a fun project.
I really loved the idea of coming into a place that I already knew and loved, that I already felt comfortable in, and being able to kind of develop it more in a way as a professional and as a teacher rather than just as a student. And I really specifically loved the idea of taking like this kind of found space, this found theater, and turning it into something really unique and different, because a lot of schools have like, you know, traditional theaters that are proscenium stage that are exactly what you expect. But at ICS, we have this really unique area where it's just kind of like this funky old art museum room that we make fun, unique art in. So I really love the idea of, you know, coming into a place, being able to create something that is uniquely us, uniquely me, that I can see my influence on. So.
I think the hardest part for me was that, like, because it was virtual, I mean, like, my strongest skill set was cut at the knees. It was my eyes. I couldn't see what they were doing. So trying to adapt to having like photographs submitted as check-in points, as opposed to just being able to walk the room, really trying to trick people into turning their cameras on by being like, introduce me to your pet, and be like, hey, your camera works, why don't you show me your project? So yes, I mean, definitely lots of changes had to be made. How have I been able to stay creative as these guys?
Hi, I'm Gary Wetzel, and I'm the founding social studies teacher at Riverside High School. I teach government and economics. So the idea for the John Lewis mural, we were really inspired by his lifetime of service, both in the United States Congress and as a speaker in the civil rights movement of the 60s. The students agreed after researching John Lewis and his work, and after his passing. So the project was funded partially through a Thriving Schools grant from Earth Charter Indiana. We certainly appreciate that support. And it combines with our new outdoor space. That's right in between our school and a busy street and the Riverside Park. So this outdoor space features some benches that were created by one of our founding seniors about to graduate, the mural space, and then our new garden that provides food for the neighborhood. So the connection between John Lewis and Riverside, I think, runs pretty deep. This building was created as a WPA project in the 1930s, so you know it has stood as long as his life. And obviously, he's not from Indiana; he's from Georgia. But this sort of issues that he worked on and shared struggle certainly was featured in Indianapolis history as well. So there's a strong connection to the community, and certainly our students felt that as well. And we hope that as we create additional murals in similar frameworks about topics like environmental justice and educational equity, that it will continue to kind of enliven the community and inspire conversations about important issues.
My name is Ani. I've been at Riverside for only 2 months, and I've been dancing with Miss Cussing for only 2 months. But since my time of being here, it has let me express myself through the pandemic. It has helped me through my graduation, so I feel like I've progressed in life and made me express myself. And I do many different things here with Miss Cussing. I always love to come in and help out with the classroom when she needs, because she's always open arms.
Riverside, our story is building and resilience, and so for us, this has, of our 4 years, we've now had 1/4 of our time together impacted by COVID. So for us, I think the question to me is just what's next, and in some ways, I think having gone through this together as a community means that next year we will have learned all of these lessons about how much we treasure being together in person, and it will make our time back when things are normal that much more valuable. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and I think we just had our field day yesterday, so this idea that being together in a joyful community safely, that we're hopefully months away from that happening, is really exciting.
My name's Gladys Green. I'm a sophomore, and to me art is a very personal thing. It's how you express yourself, I feel. Because, if you gave someone the same prompt, everyone will make a different thing because it reflects them as a person. Here, you actually have the chance to express, what you wanted to make. I mean, because, this recent identity project we had, we wouldn't have anything like that. We'd have a certain prompt and it wouldn't be open to interpretation at my old school. With identity, it's you.
We see our founding students graduating this year, and we have now begun the journey of having a school with all 4 grade levels. And I'm excited about what that means for us and what potential we have as a school. It's been really hard. I think just naming that, saying that is really important because that helps us identify what we have done as a school to grow. And I think one of the challenges has been how do we sustain the relationships that we've cultivated and built over the past 4 years when we've had to be virtual for such a long time. And I think what sustains me is as we are heading towards the end of the pandemic and we're having more students in person and more opportunities to engage with students, I'm really hopeful about what the future brings and really thankful about the deep investments and relationships we've cultivated in our students.
Hi, my name is Devin Wilson, and my daughter Ryan has been here for 2 years now. She's a sophomore, and our experience so far has been incredible. I'm really glad that she decided to attend Riverside High School. If I could summarize it, if I could put it into one word, I would choose supportive. What I have seen from faculty and staff at Riverside and even other students is an immense amount of support for one another. I feel like Ryan thrives when she has others alongside her, encouraging her, pushing her, and that's what I've seen, and I have greatly appreciated teachers stepping in and helping her academically or even personally. So I would say Riverside to me is extremely supportive. And the culture that I've seen here also is very inclusive and very respectful.
Culture is a foundational piece that young people need to understand in terms of who they are, what they are, and where they come from in order to be successful in life. School, I think my vision of what school should be is a microcosm of what the world is going to expect from you. And as Riverside, we strive specifically in the Dean's office to create that microcosm. And a way to do that is by helping kids actualize their identities, their cultures, in order to be their best selves. Not only to learn about who they are, but who others are, right? Because it's important.
Hi, my name is Joey Novak-Tedra. I've been at Riverside High School for about 4 years and also been dancing for 4 years. And the name of my piece is The Magic.
Wish I could feel what I can't see. Float like a butterfly, scream like a banshee. Something's hiding in the pantry, but I can't find it, so would you please enchant me? Give me a potion for my devotion to the emotion. I've yet
like keeping me motivated is just the support I get from my family, as well as like whatever interests me, because a lot of times I dance on my own, and not just like any choreography like piece, whatever. I just like dance randomly. I enjoy dancing. Sometimes wherever like my mom's not home, I just put on like random music and just do whatever. Dance has played like a large part of my life here at Riverside, and I can never be like more grateful for being able to have this opportunity and to be able to take these classes and to evolve from where I started off in freshman year to how I got to my senior year. And I am gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss this experience when I graduate.
Thank you, Ron, for coming today. It's always great to have visitors in the building.
I love coming to this school. I still remember driving by this place when I was a kid and not ever being able to walk in this building. So now just to be able to see and walk through these hallways, and seeing Shakespeare, Aspire House, what Flanner House is doing in the area, and all of our partners. The problem is when you don't have fine arts, we're not giving our kids a chance to express their own humanity. Whether these human beings are growing up as black or they're growing up as white, and it's their right to be able to express themselves in the way that only they can. So when you have things like this, I'll never be able to replicate what this painting is, all right? But that's what's beautiful about it. It's its own uniqueness as opposed to being a Xerox copy of anything else. I was in choir, I was in theater growing up, and so for me, that was my way of expressing myself. I didn't fit in with the mold or the stereotype, and that's what I love about me. And if you really want to help instill someone's self-worth, then you'll focus on their fine arts. You'll focus on their expressions of individuality and humanity through things like art, through choir, through theater, through dance, through poetry, through rap, well, you name it. So a school like this that is actually focusing and being able to display scenes like this. We were walking through the hallway and there was a theater class out there, and be able to see that in this neighborhood, these kids have not really had that kind of experience before. And I know it's happening in other places too, but I'm so glad it's happening here at Riverside. So,
anyone want to draw on the board with me? Gio, you want to draw with me? Arjun, you want to draw with me?
What are we drawing?
A pear. Remember how we did the pear painting? So even though we're going to do the pear, we are actually going to just do like the most basic shapes first. So normally with the classical approach to art, we like have an image in front of us, either the real thing or like an image, but I guess we'll just go off the dome. So when going from general to specific, we want to do the easiest and then move on to the hardest. So we always want to start with the largest shape first. So do you guys remember what this first shape? Yep, circle. So we're going to start by doing a circle first. And what is this circle meant to represent, or like how is this related to our pear? You guys can draw your circles too.
It's the bottom part of the pear.
Yep, the bottom part of the pear, right? So when we were looking at the pear that we were getting ready to paint, we separated it into the top and bottom. And because the bottom of the pear takes up more space because they're bottom heavy, we did the circle first. These are beautiful circles. So how did we do the top portion of the pear? What shape? Triangle, yes. And then if we think to the painting, it was kind of leaning one way. Do you remember what way it was leaning?
Right.
Yes! Okay, so we're going to put our triangle on, but we're going to have it lean a little bit off to the right-hand side because that was the way that our image looked. And then already, just with these two geometric shapes, we pretty much have the idea of a pear. Like if we showed this to someone on the street, like they could probably guess it. To make it a little bit more specific, we focused on the angles on either side where the triangle and the circle met. So I would encourage you guys to then kind of go out and almost like, I don't know, extend like the bottom part a little bit, make it a little wider, and then also give a little flat edge on the bottom so our pear doesn't roll away. And then depending on how pointy you made your triangle, maybe flatten that top piece out a little bit, just so we don't like cut ourselves when we eat this pear. Beautiful. And then what do we do with the lines on the inside? Do we keep these? No. Nope, we don't need them. So we're gonna get rid of the lines we don't need. And then what was the other piece to this pear that we're missing right now? Was there anything else up at the top?
The stem.
Yep, the stem. And our stem in the image we used went off to the right-hand side, so it was kind of like a little straw coming out of a juice box. And then, oh my gosh, I don't know, if we got real fancy, because these pears already look pretty good, do you remember how we approached the value?
we started making like actually looking at an actual pair.
Yep.
And guessing these kind of, we were doing these kind of lines.
Yeah. What kind of shapes were we outlining though? Do you remember?
The light.
Yep. The areas of highlight and shadow. So we didn't go right into painting it. We like made a map for ourselves.
Like around here.
Yep. So I love that you were mentioning, Gio, that like we actually looked at it. So when we looked at our image, our base image, we started with the shadows first. So then this big shape was like the darkest. And then I know it's been a hot minute, so we might have forgot, but then like the highlight kind of repeated and matched on the other side. And then everything else we just kind of filled in. So then once we had these shapes made, then we knew with our eyes where we could shade to make it look 3D. I guess if we want to be fancy, we could put our little cast shadow on there too. And now we all get smiley faces. We did a pair. I swear to you it is. Here, put it right in the middle, you're tall. So start with a circle. That's a beautiful circle. Now make a triangle, but have it go a little off to the right-hand side. Yep, don't think too hard about it. Yep. No, seriously, that's seriously, the less you think about it, almost the better. But wait, so now the thing that's different on ours is that these fan out. So just fan this line out.
Do I need to erase this?
Not yet, no. And now bring it in towards your circle. Yep. And now do that on the other side.
What am I doing?
Yeah, no. It's all just part of the process. No. Now erase this circle in there.
This one?
Yep. No, it doesn't. Then put your straw back on top.
Oh.
Step away from it. Take a couple steps back.
I guess it looked like it does.
Yes, it does.
Hold on, so this is what am I missing?
So this, what we started doing is, in our, I can show you on our website, but like on the images we looked at, we painted it, so there were like shadows and highlights. These shapes start to give more the idea of form. I lost.
What is it?
So like in the image, this one was dark, this was medium, and then this was light. I think they might be coloring, yeah, Christian, I think.
been so many places in my lifetime. I've sung a lot of songs, I've made some bad rhymes. I've acted out my life in stages with 10,000 people watching. There's no more important to me, so darling, can't you please see through me? 'Cause we're alone now, and I'm singing a song. You taught me precious secrets, the truth withholding nothing. You came out in front and I was hiding. But now I'm so much better. So if my words don't come together, listen to the melody, 'cause my love's in there hiding. When my life is over, remember we're together. We were alone and I was singing my song for
Hello, my name is Raymond Glauner, and I am a junior at Riverside High School, and I've been here for 3 years. Some of my interests are volleyball and science or math, but my main interest is playing the piano. And playing piano and music here at Riverside has like really expanded my, well, a repertoire of music that I love, right? And just opportunities of being able to play for people. I somewhat annually play for the Thanksgiving luncheon, and every now and then I play for galas or events that we hold for the school. And just meeting those people and being able to share my, talent with all those various people, just, I think it really exemplifies what it means to me to be a musician, to just share what I create with people and see how it affects them, see if it's great, something I can work on, or just something for fun. And I think Riverside's been perfectly accommodating for that. I don't think I would have ever been able to play like I have so far if I'd gone to another school or just any of those other much bigger schools, and I am very grateful for that. Today I'm going to be playing an original piece written by me called, I don't know, Spring Song. It's not defined quite yet, but it'll get there. Thank you.
had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you and whatever you decide to do, Jolene.
There was a time where I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home. My only friend was the man in the moon, and even sometimes he would go away too. Then one night as I closed my eyes, I saw a shadow flying high. He came to me with the sweetest smile, told me he wanted to talk for a while. He said, Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely and ever.
'Cause I am a superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. 'Cause even when I'm a mess, I still put on a vest with an S on my chest. Oh yes, I'm a superwoman. I'm a superwoman.
I wonder what it's like to be loved by you. Yeah, I wonder what it's like. I wonder what it's like to be loved by you.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself.
Yes, I'm a mess, but I'm blessed to be stuck with you. Oh, sometimes it gets unhealthy. We can't be by ourselves. We will always need each other. And yes, I'm a mess, but I'm blessed to be stuck with you. I just want you to know that if I could, I swear I'd go back, make everything all better. Oh. And I'm coming back home to you. And I'm coming back home to you. I'm coming back home. I'm coming back home to you. I'm coming back home.
Hello, my name is Dominic Wickworth Kelly. I'm the proud choral director of Riverside High School. I also serve as the help desk coordinator for Heron and Riverside. Not only am I an alumni, but I was a supporter of Riverside. I remember freshman year of college, they asked myself and another Heron alumni to come down and speak. And this is while they were in the planning process for Riverside. So to see it brought through all the way to where it is now 4 or 5 years later is nothing but joy when I think about that.
So I've always been in the choir since when I was little. Like I grew up in the church, so I just grew up with the choir. So when I saw we had a choir class here, I was like, that's a great opportunity for me to like express my feelings in singing and just get more better at singing and get more confidence in singing.
I think Riverside has definitely opened me up as a person, because before in like normal just public schools and everything, I was just kind of quiet. I don't do a whole lot. I try and do things, and then it's just like people always made fun of me and stuff. And then here I came in and everybody treated each other like family. Like we were all just of the same unit. Like it definitely made me feel more at home and better to actually feel like I can put myself out there a little more. I feel like I don't have to be somebody else in order to be in a group of things like robotics. I can be who I want to be. Volleyball, I can put all my power and stuff whatever I want to. It's just, I feel like I have the room to spread my wings and actually branch out and do what I want to do.
Hi, my name is Morgan Rosario. I am a founding Argonaut, and I will be attending Purdue University for engineering in the fall. Riverside is a family, but in that family there is a smaller choir family, and I kind of miss that. Riverside definitely made me a more open person. Riverside gave me the opportunities to develop. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do when I grew up. Like, I knew I wanted to study science. I didn't know what for. I was probably going to go into teaching. And then through like robotics, through the diverse things that Riverside held, I learned that I want to make things. I want to do better to the whole world. Like, I probably didn't want to. I probably wanted to just like be a nobody now. I want to do something. I want to be impactful. I want to make change in the world. I feel like Riverside did that to me.
Greetings, my name is Dr. Jonathan Q. Harris Sr., and I have the privilege of serving as the Vice President of Academics of Indianapolis Classical Schools. I also have served for the last 15 years as the advanced choir teacher. Dance, we have varying levels of theater, including tech theater. We have varying levels of choir. We have a treble course, we have intermediate course, we have advanced course. So like, whereas many other schools and many other school districts across the nation are cutting fine arts programs, like fine arts is a mainstay for us. Like, we will continue to expand, especially based on our student demand, student need. But fine arts is here, and I see us to stay. Like, it's a thing. When you think of classical education, you think of not just grammar, logic, rhetoric. You think of truth, you think of beauty, you think of good. So there's so much truth in music, period, in beauty. Let's focus on beauty, because usually when we think about beauty, we think of what is aesthetically pleasing to the eye, right? So now, vocal music is aesthetically pleasing, it's pleasing to the ear.
Close the window, draw the curtain. Hide the bright light of the moon. Hang the dresses, ugly dresses. No one likes spring. Wipe off all that stupid lipstick. Turn the earrings to their kiss. Makeup won't make any difference. It's still the same old face. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny you believe that it was real? Pretty funny. All disasters have an upside. You can find one if you try. You went dancing, you were dancing. You were dancing with a guy. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Aren't you funny? Pathetically naive and desperate to believe you can always find some good. Shut the light off, turn the bed down. No more crying, don't you dare. You'll wake up sometime tomorrow and forget to even care. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? For a moment, he convinced me I could be pretty funny. Isn't it funny?
Seniors, you have an amazing future ahead of you. You have spent the past few years honing your art and basically developing your artistic voice. I want you to take that out into the world. I want you to continue to process your world through dance, and I want you to show us all amazing things.
You are where you are supposed to be. And I know that sounds very abstract, and but trust me when I say you are where you are supposed to be. And as I tell everybody, no matter who you are, whether you're in this neighborhood or not, it's always be more empathetic as opposed to sympathetic.
Our freshman class 4 years ago, sitting upstairs in the church, I talked about beauty. I went to the last stanza of Langston Hughes' I Too Sing America, right, I Too. And the last stanza goes, besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed, right, I Too am America. There's a beauty. And that beauty, hopefully, while you've been here, we've had somehow cultivated that beauty and pushed you to be your true self, your best self, but leaning into that beauty. It may be art, it may be music, like that beauty, that thing that you were created to do. Hopefully we've helped cultivate that thing. So look, lean into that beauty, know that you are beautiful, be willing, be ready to take some stuff. And so if you endure to the end, it'll be okay. So perseverance is the biggest thing I can say to.
One of my favorite artists is Christina Aguilera, and she has a song called Soar, which really speaks to me, and I think I would quote her in saying, don't be afraid to find your path that's your own. Soar.
Embrace what we consider to be failure. And not see it as failure, especially in the arts, because especially performers, you get a whole lot more no's than you do yeses, right? We face rejection a whole lot in this field. And students often will kind of struggle in certain, especially like freshman year, they will struggle in classes for the first time ever, and they can get really, really defeated. And if we can learn to embrace our failure and see that as a learning opportunity, you will grow so much more as a student, as a performer, etc. So every time I get a no, I try to take this as an opportunity to get better.
I'm gonna miss my children, my seniors. I'm going to miss them, but I'm so proud. I remember being a senior myself, and I remember how hard it was those last 6 months of my senior year and watching my seniors in choir. The only thing I could say to them is keep being the better you.
I think for our seniors, the message that I want them to carry with them is that the doors are open for them to have whatever path they want. And there are so many paths that I think when I was a young adult, I didn't even know what I wanted to do with my life. But the doors are open, and we are here to support them. I know many of them have a vision and a dream already, but I want our young people graduating now, our seniors, to know that whatever it is you want to do in life, whatever you want your path to be, go after it and pursue it. The doors are open to you, and you are amazing young people who have already
proven your greatness, but now you have even more opportunity to do so.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a lot of special people to thank. Special thanks go to Northwest Quality of Life, Indiana Landmarks, Tara Elliott and Marsh Davis, DeWitt Jackson, J-Rails Media Group, Skyfly Aerials LLC, and all of our amazing scholars at Riverside High School. Please consider a gift to Indianapolis Classical Schools. Your gift will be greatly appreciated and allow us to continue serving the students of Indianapolis. Thank you.